It was a brutal murder on the interstate. A dark, chilling middle of the night on I-81 in Pennsylvania. Timothy Osti Davison's SUV was rammed off the road by another truck. Timothy dialed 911. The call dropped, so he tried again.
Were you the one that called about the Ford Ranger, right?
Yeah. The one that just hit me.
What do you mean, they hit you with the car? Or?
Yeah, it smashed me with the car, pushed me across the median.
The driver of the Ford allegedly turned around at the next exit and returned to the scene. This time, cops say his actions were more diabolical. Pulling a gun, firing into 28-year-old Timothy's Mitsubishi Montero. It wasn't long before Timothy was dead. What was behind such a deliberate and brutal murder? Our Harrisburg affiliate WPMT has been following the story since the beginning. Road rage and robbery were considered, but cops had no motive.
We had the audible phone calls from the victim, who he himself claimed he did not know what the motivation of his attacker was.
Timothy's family was suffering.
First of all, been a really difficult 6 months. Just even thinking about, he left such a hole in our lives.
There was a $22,000 reward, later increased to $62,000, offered for information leading to an arrest in the case.
Someone is watching this, and that $22,000 isn't enough. You need safety. You need a witness protection plan. They should really contact me, because I have got so many people and a huge community, and we would help that person.
Cops found surveillance video captured during the shooting. It shows the suspect was driving a dark Ford Ranger, just as Timothy had described. Cops received hundreds of tips in the case before the one that really made the difference came in.
We felt strongly it was probably somewhere along the lines of a road rage incident until we got this piece of information.
They now believe the killer is John Wayne Strasser of nearby West Virginia. And most tragic of all, they say the murder was apparently a case of mistaken identity. The significant tip came from a man who saw Timothy's murder on the news and believed he was the intended target. Jamie Brees drives a silver SUV, similar to Timothy's.
The tipster, Mr. Jamie Brees, advised that he and his wife had argued with the subject at times, and to include the night of the homicide. And he had been looking for them that particular night.
But there's a problem. Brees didn't call the cops the next day. In fact, he waited more than a year and called only after he learned Strasser was arrested for an unrelated murder. That's right, another person was murdered in the meantime. Strasser has pled not guilty in that case.
Once there was the homicide in West Virginia, that led them to believe that he certainly was capable of this, and that broke things open for us.
Cops then found the murder weapon in a field near Strasser's home and were able to connect his DNA to a shell casing at the scene. As for the reward, Timothy's mother doesn't feel it should go to Brees because, in her opinion, waiting so long to call the cops allowed for another life to be taken.
It's beyond frustrating. I mean, it's almost disgusting. You do the right thing, and that was definitely not the right thing.
But she's grateful for the outpouring of support from the community.
Thousands of people just with big hearts, who offered us, to stay in their homes. Just really kind people. I just want to say thank you to them in person.
Strasser has been charged with first-degree murder in the case, but he's still in custody in West Virginia on the other murder charge.
We will wait until that case is done down there. And by done, I mean until he's eventually sentenced, if he is sentenced. Once his case is complete, we will be notified, and then we will have the opportunity to bring him up here.
But that won't ease the pain of the family and friends of Timothy Osti Davison, who continue to feel the loss left by his truly senseless murder.